The lights were blinding. The energy was electric. The final bell of SummerSlam Night 2 had just rung, and Cody Rhodes stood tall, bloodied, exhausted, but triumphant. He had just survived a war, a street fight, a rematch for the ages. And he had taken down the icon. He had beaten John Cena. Again. But just when the dust seemed to settle, MetLife Stadium exploded. Because Brock Lesnar walked through the smoke. Out of nowhere. No music. No warning. No hype. Just the beast, the storm, the specter of chaos, and in his crosshairs, a worn-down John Cena. For the first time in 2 years, Brock Lesnar returned to WWE. And he didn't come to shake hands. He came to destroy. And Cena, already broken from the war with Cody, was the target. Lesnar hit the ring like a freight train. Cena turned around, barely, and then it happened. A thunderous F5, then another. No words, no mercy, just pure violence. The crowd roared, then gasped. And then they booed. The legend was left motionless. John Cena, the face of WWE for 2 decades, had his final SummerSlam moment snatched away in the blink of an eye. What was supposed to be his grand farewell was turned into a nightmare by the one man who's haunted him more than any other. This wasn't just an attack. It was a statement. A beastly reminder that Brock Lesnar still breathes, still hunts, still breaks the rules. And that Cena, for all his heart, couldn't escape the shadow that has followed him for years. Earlier that night, the fans were treated to a loaded card. 6 title matches. Stakes everywhere. Emotions running high. It was classic WWE. Titles changed hands. Dreams were broken. Rivalries exploded. And yet, by the time Brock returned, all of it felt like a prelude to that one moment. But rewind just a bit, because Cody Rhodes and John Cena put on a clinic. The Undisputed WWE Championship was on the line. Street fight rules meant no disqualifications, no count-outs, and no limits. These weren't just 2 men wrestling. They were 2 icons fighting for legacy. Cena came in looking lean, focused, and fearless. Rhodes came in with something to prove, that his win last year wasn't a fluke, that he belonged at the top, that he was the standard bearer now. The match was brutal. Tables splintered. Chairs flew. Kendo sticks cracked across backs and skulls. Both men bled. Both men fell. And both men refused to stay down. Cena hit the attitude adjustment from the second rope. Rhodes kicked out. Rhodes hit a Cody cutter onto steel steps. Cena powered back. They fought up the ramp. They fought through the crowd. They fought like it was their last night on Earth. And finally, when Cody Rhodes hit an avalanche Cody cutter through a table, followed by crossroads in the center of the ring, it was over. 1, 2, 3. Cody held the championship high, tears in his eyes. It was the kind of win that defines eras. The kind of performance that etches names into history. But it was all ripped away in seconds by Lesnar's return. And now, the questions begin. Why now? Why Cena? Why return after 2 years in exile? Lesnar hadn't been seen or heard from since being named in the federal lawsuit involving Vince McMahon. His name was whispered, but never spoken out loud. His image was scrubbed. His future seemed gone. But tonight, he walked back into the ring like he'd never left. And in doing so, he reminded everyone that in WWE, nothing is ever over. Cena's final SummerSlam was supposed to be about closure. Instead, it ended in chaos. Cody's coronation was supposed to be the focus. Instead, it was hijacked. And Lesnar, he said nothing. He just stood over the broken body of John Cena, with a storm behind his eyes. Is this the beginning of a new feud? Is Cena done? Or has Lesnar just reopened the door for one last run of destruction? Only time will tell. But tonight, at SummerSlam 2025, history was made, and then torn apart. Not with words, not with promos, but with an F5. Because in WWE, the past never stays buried. And Brock Lesnar just proved it.